Got him. Smoke, dude. Let's fucking go.
Alright guys, check it out.
What's going on, guys? It's Austin back with another episode of Anglin' A's. Right here behind me actually is a new property that I just got permission on. Today I'm doing something a little bit different, something I've never done. I'm going to be scouting this property for the very first time, and I'm going to take you guys with me. This property is about 25 to 30 acres that attaches to another bit that's about 12 acres. I've always passed this property and I always thought it looked good, so I just recently got permission. There's a big field food plot down at the very bottom of this hill, but not the piece of property that he owns. But there's a flat that comes off this hill, and I believe the deer are going to be right on that flat. I've scouted it a little bit on Onyx, and we're going to go take a look at it today. We're actually going to be taking the AR style 22 that I have with me, and squirrel season lasts until the 28th of February. So we're going to try and take some squirrels, and we're going to do some scouting, set up some mock scrapes, and put a couple trail cameras out. So this is the AR style 22 I'm going to be using. Actually heard a squirrel just now. I'm gonna try to find it. I heard him barking up here somewhere. So basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to walk and stop and listen. And I've been hearing him running around, but it's so hard to be stealthy in these woods. All right, well, this is a historical rub right here. It means that, you know, it's really old, but it's been there. So that means that this is a good property for bucks. I'm gonna walk back up on this flat. There's deer tracks. Deer tracks. I'm just gonna follow this, see where it leads. I see a rub up there. So this trail here goes down that way. We're gonna keep following it this way, see what we can find. All right, so did a little bit more walking and I found this rub here. Pretty decent, about waist high, but something I noticed though is that the shavings are on top of the leaves here. That's a telltale sign that this scrape was, or this rub was made later in the season. So, but still, good sign, but not exactly what I'm looking for just yet. There's all kinds of tracks though. Look at this slide mark there. Look at this trail. Beaten down. Last time I came up here to briefly survey, all the way down there, there's a telephone pole. You can barely see it, but I saw deer there. I'm gonna pull up my binos and see if I can see anything. No deer down in the valley, but I'm gonna keep walking this trail and see what comes of it. I see a rub, little one. Looks like that might have been made earlier in the season. There's another rub. It's a good one. Let's see. Those shavings are underneath. So that right there, that just tells me that they're in here in the early season. And they're not all clustered together, so this definitely isn't bedding. There's a lot of briars over here, which is a good sign. That looks like that might have been a scrape. I see another rub. Little one. Also, looks like it might have been made in the early season. This is all beaten down here. You can see that real well. Right there. There's the trail. So it looks like there's a trail that goes that way. There's a trail that goes that way, a trail down there. There's a trail that curves around this hill. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk down a little ways just to where it gets ready to flatten out. And I'm gonna look around because this might be a spot that I'm gonna put a mock scrape. So we'll just kind of keep walking down. Check this out. There's one there and there's one there. Here comes a squirrel. I hit him that time. There he is. I got him that time. Took me a couple shots. He was moving. Yep. Well, there's one. Oh, there's the squirrel. So, didn't go home empty-handed at least. We're gonna make ourselves a mock scrape and get out of here for the evening. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the ingredients here to make it, and stay tuned. I'll meet you guys back at the truck. All right, guys, we're the second day out here scouting this property. I kind of went home the other day and I set up a mock scrape. It got dark on me pretty quick, so I set up a mock scrape and I went home and I kind of let it sit. But now me and Aaron are actually out here. We've been doing some squirrel hunting. We've already killed 2 squirrels. We found some awesome sign. And then Aaron finds this old
chewed up shed
from a nice deer.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole main beam is broken off, but dude, look at his brow tines.
His brow tines are thick. He's got a little flyer there.
Yeah. And then his main beam is broke off, but that's
cool. That's a first for me.
Yeah. Aaron's never found a shed. And, That's cool. Definitely, we just kind of came through here because we had some really good rub sign on the outside of this, and we were kind of just walking through, and we found an old, it looks like maybe somebody built an old tree stand out of wood, and then right on the other side of it, he found this shed.
Sure enough.
We're going to show you guys the rubs out here, and then we're going to try to find a couple squirrels and then check the trail camera. All right, 20 yards up the hill from where we just found this shed. Look at this rub. I mean, just absolutely destroyed. So it comes all the way up to my waist. But I mean, look at this. Now, I know at some point on this property a few years ago, there was a monster non-typical killed out here. But I mean, this rub obviously is not old. It's not super old. But there was a monster non-typical killed out here. So I wouldn't be surprised if his offspring is just as big as he was. All right, so first picture we got here, we got a nice doe hitting the scrape. We're just gonna walk through all these pictures here. So that was on the 10th. That was the same night I came out here and put it up. It had deer on it as soon as I left. It's the same deer. Okay, that's a different deer. Because it's 10:30, it's an hour later.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'll pick it up.
Doe. Nice doe.
Mm-hmm.
There's that buck. One side.
Yep, that's a pretty young deer too.
Hey, he's got potential.
He's got long beams.
Long beams. Well, we're gonna set this back up and we're gonna freshen that scrape back up because the leaves blew through it, and then we're just gonna leave that alone. We're gonna let that be. Deer are already hitting this mock scrape, so that's a great sign. But all right, well, we're gonna freshen that up, and then we're gonna maybe try to shoot a couple more squirrels on the way out. All right, now we're gonna squirrel hunt a little bit more on our way out. Try and see if we can get one. Aaron shot one this morning when we first got here. And then I shot one, but we couldn't find it. It died, but we couldn't find it. So we're gonna squirrel hunt a little bit more on our way out and see if we can get some on video for you guys. You want him? Nailed him.
Yes,
You
sir.
smoked him. Yes, sir.
Old 20.
Let's go get him.
All right.
He's still alive. He's still alive.
Oh,
Yeah, he's laying right there. You see him? Were you able to aim pretty good through that?
Huh?
Were you able to see him pretty good in that scope?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Good deal.
I think I hit him right in the ear when I finished him off.
Yes, sir.
Right now.
That's a good squirrel. That's number 2 for you.
Yep. We'll take it.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll sit down a little bit more and see if I can shoot one.
Yeah.
All right, man. All right, guys, so we're back now. We just got back from doing all of the scouting on that property. We found a total of 3 sheds. Now, I found 2 more after the video was filmed. We actually went back and a little bit later and we scouted a little bit more and ended up finding a matching set. Both of these sheds were in the same exact spot, almost as if the buck had dropped his antlers right there where he sat. So I'm going to show those to you guys right now. So this buck here seemed like he would be a really nice 8-pointer. Perfectly symmetrical, possibly a young deer. I mean, it's hard to tell exactly from these sheds, but I believe that these are this year's sheds. We walked over that spot countless number of times and we never did see these antlers. So this was a heck of a find. All I saw was just this main beam tine sticking out of the ground, and lo and behold, both of them were sitting right beside each other. So this was quite the find. Of course, you guys saw the shed that Aaron found. So we've definitely got great genetics on this property. Now, after we left that property, I went to another property and did some scouting, and this is another property that we also have permission on to hunt this coming fall. And the homeowner took me out there and we were walking around and I ended up finding this deadhead. So this deadhead is pretty old. It looked like it had been there a while. It's pretty chewed up on his on one of his tines right here, and also both of his main beams are completely gone. And some of the skull has been deteriorated, but a heck of a find nonetheless. Also shows the potential for the genetics on this property. I hate to see a nice young deer like this go the way that he did. Possibly shot from a neighboring property. This homeowner doesn't hunt on that land as much, so he definitely didn't shoot this, but heck of a find. And I have plans to get this guy bleached up and to make him look whole again. And obviously I know that's something you guys have been waiting for. We're going to go ahead and pop up the pictures and the videos in full size right now that we got on our trail camera. So this buck right here is a very nice buck. I can tell that he's got great potential for next year. Obviously he doesn't have both sides with him, but just from that one side, you know, he's super tall and really long. But he's not a very old deer. You know, he's got a young body. This may be a deer that we pass and let him grow for the next few years and turn into a monster. Or it may be a deer we end up shooting this coming year if he just decides to blow up, which is very possible. Other than that, we had a couple good pictures of some does, a couple videos of some does. You know, does and this buck has been hitting the mock scrape. And, you know, everything's been working out. All the research we've done, all the time and effort we've been putting into these properties is really starting to pay off. And it's looking good for this next coming deer season. Now, we did replace that camera with a cellular trail camera just because my old trail camera that was out there that took these pictures is starting to mess up. So we put a cellular trail camera out there, and I've been getting pictures all day long. The deer are coming in like clockwork. Hopefully they stay there, and these are their fall patterns. And, you know, they kind of stick out of the way in the summertime, and they're in there in the fall. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and end this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe, comment on that. We'll see you on the next episode of Anglin' A's, and we'll see you guys the next deer season of 2022.